We got some weird energy happening to me. Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm the Viet Vegan because I'm Viet and I'm vegan. And today we're making a very delicious recipe. I've actually seen a bunch of people post this recently and this is something that I've been meaning to put out as a recipe for a long time. And I feel bad because I don't want people to think that I'm copying them or I'm stealing the recipe. But this is going to be my version, basically with the same sort of staple tofu ricotta pasta sauce combination that I always make, but in shell form. So today we're making baked shells. So first thing we're gonna do is we're going to boil our shells. You can use whatever shells you want. These are a very bougie looking set of shells, but honestly, they were the cheapest that were at the grocery store. I'm baking in this 9x13 pan dish bakeware thing. I can probably do 3 rows of 7, so 21 shells, but I'm gonna cook 25 just in case. 1, 2, 3. The water's almost boiling, don't judge me. 25. Ooh. 1 more just in case. Half a package. We're gonna push this down. We're just gonna cook them al dente. We want them to be kind of firm because they're gonna continue baking in the oven, and we don't want them to be mushy, you know what I mean? It's all in Italian. I can read some Italian, but not that much. There's also Russian on here. Oh, minuti di cottura, 14. So I'm gonna say set a timer for 12 minutes. So while this cooks, we're gonna prep the ricotta. I feel like I'm also rocking a Blair, what's her face from Gossip Girl vibe because of the headband. And you know what? I am not mad about it. So I got gloves on because I have eczema. I have 2 packages of tofu here. This is some extra firm tofu that I got from Costco. They are 350 grams each, 700 grams total. Quick math. And I'm just gonna crumble them into a bowl. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna create my flavor mixture. I like to add tahini. I think it adds a nice rich fattiness. So we're gonna do about 3 tablespoons of tahini. So I have 65 grams, that's fine. We're gonna use 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. That's gonna add that tartness to the ricotta. 1, 2. And we're also gonna add miso because that's gonna add some of that cheesy funk, I forgot to salt the pasta. So we're gonna salt this a little bit, a little salty. Let's see, might have been too much, it's okay. We're gonna stir her in. Shells. You're gonna get 1 tablespoon of mild sodium miso. I didn't realize this is mild sodium. Like a regular white miso. You can also use red miso if you want, but she'll be a little saltier, a little funkier, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this is probably too much, but I don't care. We're doing it. 1 tablespoon of miso. She's a little dry. That's why I was able to manage her like that, you know what I'm saying? So then we're just gonna mix her up. This is gonna sound a little extreme, but we're gonna use a 1/4 cup. We want this filling to be Flavor Town. This is my first time actually measuring the recipe that I'm making. In the past, I just kind of dump things in a bowl and hope it works. And usually, it's been fine. She is pasty, so I'm gonna add a little bit more lemon juice. More lemon juice. 1, whoopsie. No, that's good enough. 1/4 cup lemon juice, you know what I'm saying? Because we want this to basically be like a paste, but not like a thick paste. That's looking a lot better. So we're gonna have a nice little paste sort of action, and that is Flavor Town. Now we're gonna crumble up this tofu. You don't need to press it, it doesn't need to be that big of a deal. Actually, a little bit of the moisture is probably gonna help anyway, but you're gonna drain it fairly well. And meanwhile that's happening, just give this a little mix so nothing sticks to the bottom. Always watching. Little snappy. I squeezed out some of the liquid. Now we're gonna get to crumbling, a little crumbly. This is fun for the kids to do if you have little humans, or if you have people who like to squeeze textures like Janelle. This is a fun time to squeeze that tofu. You wanna break it up to be kind of, small. I free you from your plastic prison. Smush, mush, smush, mush, 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 mush. Smash, 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 smash. Isn't tofu cool? It's basically soy cheese. Like milk to cheese is what tofu is to soy milk. That's pretty cool. All right, so now everything is crumbled. You're going to mix everything together with the tofu. You're gonna mix her in, you know what I'm saying? You got a squishy McSquish. I will say this is very satisfying. Oh yes. I definitely should have rolled my sleeves up more. This is all funky looking and tasting, so we're gonna give this a little tasty taste just to make sure. So we're gonna turn off the heat. We're gonna put this aside, and we're gonna strain this bad boy. Would help if I had a sieve though. One moment. So while those drain and cool off enough so I can handle them, we're gonna do one more thing, and that is chop up some spinach. It's not super like necessary to measure. I'm just gonna take this giant handful and maybe a little bit more. So that's about like 2 cups of spinach. It's fast and loose measurements here on this thing just because it don't matter, you know what I'm saying? You can use more if you really like spinach. You can use less. You can also not use it at all. But I feel like green really just like adds a little something to this recipe, you know what I'm saying? So it's a rough chop. You don't need to be precise, okay? Some people would recommend that you blanch this first. We don't talk to those people, okay? You can totally do that. You can also use like cooked chopped spinach that's like frozen. That is also a good idea. I'm lazy, although we did just get a microwave, so thawing it isn't as hard as it used to be, but I used to like hate that kind of stuff. Oh God, spilling everywhere. All right, and then we're just gonna mix this in. I just wanna stuff this in everything. Put this in ravioli, put this in tortellini, obviously shells, cannelloni, it don't matter. I'll just put all of it. All right, so this is the final mixture. Delicious. These shells are ready to be stuffed. We're gonna take our favorite kind of marinara sauce. You can make your own. I have a recipe for a simple tomato sauce on the blog that I use with fresh tomatoes. Why do that when you can just buy store-bought? Use your favorite marinara sauce, and then you're just gonna put a nice little layer on the bottom. You're just gonna spread that kind of evenly on the bottom just so that your pasta has something to sit on, you know? We like us a juicy pasta. You're probably gonna need about like 2.5 cups of pasta sauce. It's not a huge deal if you have more or less. You just might have a drier product in the end, you know what I'm saying? But it's cool. We're gonna take our shells, we're gonna stuff them. We're just gonna scoop them in there. I like me a very stuffed pasta shell. You do you. So we're just gonna nestle them in there, you know? This is gonna be a little tedious, but worth it in the end. And you can make this ahead of time, put it in your fridge, and then bake it. So I'm gonna fast forward through this because this is gonna take me a long time to do. Actually, it's not gonna take that long, but it's not very interesting footage. I'll see you when these are all stuffed and put in the pan. So our shells are stuffed. I've added some more sauce on top and a little bit of vegan cheese. You can totally omit this. You can add your own vegan Parmesan cheese on top. I just find the cheese just like helps insulate it a little bit better. And it just makes it more approachable, more tasty, you know? But the thing with Daiya cheese, which is what I used, you gotta use it sparingly. Because if you use too much, she's not tasty. A little goes a long way when it comes to vegan cheese. So we're gonna bake this for about half an hour, and then I'll see you when it's done. All right, goodbye. See you in half an hour. So one thing I forgot to mention is that there is a bit of extra left over. Now, if you aren't doing this for aesthetics, you could just make up another pan. This is probably enough for 6 more shells. I'll just adjust the recipe for 60 shells, or not 60 shells, 30 shells instead of the 24, 25 that I put in there. So maybe like 30, 32, depending on how full you stuff them. Once it's assembled like that, before you put it in the oven, you can wrap it up with like tin foil, and you can actually put it in the freezer, and then you can bake that whenever you want. So that's a good meal prepping type of dish that you can make ahead. It's pretty easy to do. So anyway, I'm gonna put this aside because I don't have time to cook more shells right now. I'll leave all that in the description or in the blog post so that you have the correct amount of shells. So I baked it for half an hour, basically until the cheese melted. Everything just kind of like nuzzles in there and it's just like nice and like, you know, toasty and warm and delicious. That's basically the recipe. I am not gonna taste this because this is for a potluck and it'd be a little rude if I took part of it and ate it on camera. I know it's delicious because I've made this a few times before, and I hope you guys enjoy it because it is a classic dish that is very delicious. It's very accessible, I guess. Like if you're making this for omnivores, like the filling is delicious. It's full of protein. It's very reminiscent of ricotta and it's just tasty. I've garnished it with a little bit of parsley, but you can also do that with basil if you prefer basil. It's just a really easy, simple dish that is kid friendly, family friendly, skeptic friendly, just tasty. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. If you guys want the full recipe, it'll be linked on thevietvegan.com, which is linked down below. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I like to share a lot of stuff in my life in there. I'm talking very quickly for no reason. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a delicious day, because I will be having one later tonight. I mean, my days are always delicious, but I'm very excited to eat this. All right, goodbye. Anyway, I don't know what just happened. I just like created so much saliva in my mouth just then. Whoa. Holy, what is wrong with me? Jesus Christ.